Hare Krishna everyone, thank you for joining this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class and attentive Japa. Thank you so much and welcome to the program. Today we're talking about Dhruva Maharaj, and it's a fantastic pastime, and it's a pastime that if you're feeling down or having any doubts in your mind, then you just read about Dhruva Maharaj and he just lifts you up again, brings you back into your bhakti. Small child can achieve so much, and then shows the kindness of the Lord as well, how if you please the Lord, how he just showers everything onto you. The example of Sudama as well, how Krishna wanted to give him everything, and in this case as well, the Lord Narayan wanted to give everything to Dhruv. He was so impressed with a 5-year-old. So it's an amazing pastime. So we'll make a start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So Dhruva Maharaj is born as the son of the great king Uttanpad. The king had 2 wives and he got children by each of them. And one day, while Dhruv's stepbrother was playing on the lap of the king, Dhruv also wanted to play on his father's lap. Just 5-year-old, he also wanted to play with his father. And so he tried to climb up his father's knee, but his father didn't receive him with any particular attention or affection. Moreover, Dhruv's stepmother came forward and chastised Dhruva very loudly. "My dear boy," she said, speaking loudly so that everyone could hear, you cannot sit on the lap of your father. Although you are his son, you are disqualified because you have not taken birth in my womb. If you want to sit on your father's lap," she went on, humiliating the boy and exploiting her own position as the king's favorite, "you must first worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by penance and austerities, and then in your next life you can take birth from my womb, then it may be possible." So basically she's saying that you pray to the Lord that you die and then you take birth again from my womb, and then if you come as my son, then you can climb on the throne or on your father's lap. So pretty hurtful words there. So Dhruv burst into tears and ran home, taking shelter of his mother, to whom he blurted out the whole story. "My dear boy," said Dhruv's mother, "what can I do? Your father loves your stepmother as his favorite, and he doesn't even consider me. When what the queen said was true. You must worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then it might be possible for you to sit on the throne." Dhruv was the warrior class and therefore very fiery by nature. He wanted to get the kingdom which he deserved as the son of the king, and he would not settle for being reduced and insulted. So since his mother and stepmother had mentioned God, the Supreme Person, as the controller of his fortune, Dhruv intelligently asked about him. "Where is God?" It's only 5. So his mother replied that she only knew that saintly persons went to the forest to find him. So she's quite innocent as well. Thus Dhruv immediately left his father's city and went to the forest. A person may doubt that a 5-year-old boy could enter the forest alone, but we shall see that we have no competency to judge a personality like Dhruva. His living home is only the beginning of his extraordinary exploits. As we will see, there is no one in history to compare with Dhruv for personal fortitude, especially in executing spiritual life. Narad Muni, the eternal spiritual master, who travels in space to all planets and his mission to deliver love of Krishna, appeared before him. "I have been insulted by my stepmother," he said, "and I have come to find God to get the kingdom I deserve." Narad Muni, being a true spiritual master, is naturally kind and eager to see all souls go back to Godhead. Therefore, he mercifully agreed to accept Dhruva for instruction in how to find God, Dhruva told Narad Muni, I want a kingdom not only greater than my father's, but greater than even that of Lord Brahma, who is his great grandfather, the controller of the universe. By the transcendental standards of Narad, the boy should not have taken the family insult seriously, but Narad reasoned. Nevertheless, let him approach the Supreme Person regardless of the reason. Narad then told Dhruv how to absorb himself in devotional service to the all-powerful Supreme Personality of Godhead. He performed severe austerity activities for 6 months, which would be impossible even for great kings and sages. And because of his mature position in yogic meditation, Dhruva Maharaj was constantly observing the form of personality Godhead within his heart. But all of a sudden, when the Supreme Personality Godhead disappeared from his heart, he thought he had lost him. So it's quite a long story, but we only have limited time, so I've summarized it. So he was observing, meditating on the Lord in his heart, and then that observance just left him, and he got worried that it's like lost connection with God. And then Dhruva Maharaj was perturbed, but upon opening his eyes, so his meditation broke, and upon opening his eyes and breaking his meditation, he saw the same form of the Lord before him. So the Lord from the heart was standing right next to him now, in front of him. Now, although Dhruva was a small boy, he wanted to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a suitable language. So he was so excited to see the Lord, and he knew that now I should be offering prayers. He was a very cultured boy. But because he was inexperienced, he could not adjust himself immediately. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being situated in everyone's heart, could understand Dhruva Maharaj's awkward position, and out of his causeless mercy, he touched his conch shell to the forehead of Dhruva Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands. The Lord touched his conch shell to Dhruva's forehead, and he was transcendently inspired. This transcendental inspiration is called Brahma Maya, because when one is thus inspired, the sound he produces exactly corresponds to the sound vibration of the Vedas. Now, Dhruva Maharaj said, my dear Lord, you are all powerful. After entering within, so he's doing his prayers now. He says, my dear Lord, you are all powerful. After entering within me, you have enlivened all my sleeping senses. My hands, legs, ears, touch sensation, life force, and especially my power of speech. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you, my Lord. You are the Supreme One, but by your different energies you appear differently in the spiritual and material worlds. You create the total energy of the material world by your external potency, and after creation, you enter within the material world as the super soul. You are the Supreme Person, and through the temporary modes of material nature, you create varieties of manifestations, just as fire entering into wood or different shapes burns brilliantly in different varieties. So the original energy inspires the devotee, and thus he engages all his bodily limbs in the service of the Lord. The same energy as external potency engages the ordinary non-devotees in material activities for sense enjoyment. So we should mark the difference between Maya and Swadham. For devotees, the Swadham acts, whereas in the case of non-devotees, the Maya energy acts. So the Lord has all sorts of energies, external, internal, material, spiritual, whichever you want to invoke, you have that choice as the marginal energy of the Lord. O my Master, Lord Brahma is fully surrendered unto you. In the beginning you gave him knowledge, and thus he could see and understand the entire universe. Just as a person awakens from sleep and visualizes immediate duties. So this is what happened to Brahma. You are the only shelter of all persons who desire liberation. And you are the friend of all who are distressed. How therefore can a learned person who has perfect knowledge ever forget you? Persons who worship you simply for the sense gratification of this bag of skin are certainly influenced by your illusory energy. In spite of having you who are like a desire tree and are the cause of liberation from birth and death, foolish persons such as me, Dhruva says, that desire benedictions from you for sense gratification, which is available even for those who live in hellish conditions. And Dhruva Maharaj, repenting because he had come to the Lord to render devotional service for material profit, he wanted a planet better than Lord Brahma's planet. He here condemns his attitude because now he has been purified after all that meditation he did and then the conch touching his head. He's totally purified and now he feels quite foolish that what was I praying for? Only due to gross lack of knowledge does one worship the Lord for material profit or for sense gratification. My dear Lord, the transcendental bliss derived from meditating upon your lotus feet or hearing about your glories from pure devotees is so unlimited that is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda, wherein one thinks himself merged in the impersonal Brahman as one with the Supreme. Since Brahmananda is also defeated by the transcendental bliss derived from devotional service, then what to speak of the temporary blissfulness of elevating oneself to the heavenly planets, which is ended by the separating sword of times. So, although one may be elevated to the heavenly planets, falls down in course of time when his pious deeds run out, that's it, and then you back down again, restart. So Dhruva Maharaj appreciated that the results of devotional service are far more valuable than merging into the absolute or being elevated to the heavenly planets. So those who are elevated to the heavenly planets are like airplanes, Srila Prabhupada mentions, which drop when they run out of fuel. So it's just simple as that. And the fuel, is limited. Sooner or later, you come back down again. And Dhruva Maharaj then continues, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly, as the waves of a river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire-like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastime which are eternally existent. So from this statement by Dhruva Maharaj, it is clear that unless one is associated with devotees, his devotional service does not mature. It does not become distinct from material activities. Only in the association of pure devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and relishable to the heart and ear. Because if you're just doing on your own, then you have no one to tell you if you're going wrong. Just like, I guess, learning a musical instrument, you think you're playing really well, but the person who's listening, they can tell, who's an expert, can tell you that you're doing this wrong. You catch bad habits. I guess same in bhakti, you get bad habits, or you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, but you don't realize it. So you need someone else to tell you, to guide you. So we always need association of devotees to make sure we are running on the right track. O Lord, who have a lotus navel, if a person happens to associate with a devotee whose heart always hankers after your lotus feet, seeking always their fragrance, he is never attached to the material body or in a bodily relationship. To offspring, friends, home, wealth and wife, which are very, very dear to materialistic persons, indeed he doesn't care so much for them. Dhruva Maharaj plainly says that a devotee has no more bodily interest. He knows that he is not the body. Therefore, from the beginning, without wasting time in bodily exercises, a devotee searches out a pure devotee and simply by his association becomes more advanced in spiritual consciousness. This doesn't mean you don't care for your family. It just means that you do your duty. You do not become over-attached. You do your duty as the husband, as the father, as the son, as the brother. You do your duty, not become mad over these relationships. My dear Lord, O Supreme Unborn, I know that the different varieties of living entities, such as animals, trees, birds, reptiles, demigods, and human beings are spread throughout the universe, which is caused by the total material energy. And I know that they are sometimes manifest and sometimes unmanifest, but I have never experienced the supreme form I behold as I see you now. Now all kinds of methods of theorizing have come to an end. Excuse me. Dhruva Maharaj here admits that not only was he ignorant, but yes, he was only a child. It would not have been possible for an ignorant child to appreciate the supreme form of the Lord had not been blessed by the Lord, was just his conchal to Dhruva's forehead. So he just awakened all his senses. My dear Lord, at the end of each millennium, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, dissolves everything manifested within the universe into his belly. So it says Garbhodaksha Vishnu here, but now it is like Mahavishnu, so there's no confusion. So everything goes back into Mahavishnu at the end of at the end of each millennium. Okay, so this is possible. It's the end of each millennium. So I think it's the total annihilation. Everything goes back into Mahavishnu. He lies down on the lap of Sheshnag. From his navel sprouts a golden lotus flower on a stem, and on that lotus, Lord Brahma is created. I can understand that you are the same Supreme Godhead. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. My Lord, by your unbroken frontal glance, you are the supreme witness of all stages of intellectual activities. You are eternally liberated. Your existence is situated in pure goodness, and you are existent in the super soul without change. You are the original personality of Godhead, full with six opulences, and you are eternally the master of the three modes of material nature. Thus, you are always different from the ordinary living entities as Lord Vishnu. You maintain all the affairs of the entire universe, and yet you stand aloof and are the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. So Dhruva has learnt everything, by the touching of the conch shell. He has the knowledge of the Vedas. He says that you are eternally liberated, which means that there is no cause above the Lord. He doesn't need to be liberated from anything. He is eternally liberated because he is the cause of everything. And yet he is aloof because he has his energies working for him. He does not get attached to anything. He's not contaminated by the three modes of material nature. So he's aloof from everything, and yet he's doing everything. My dear Lord, in your impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continually manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited and blissful, is the cause of the material manifestation. Because you are the same impersonal Brahman, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. My Lord, O Supreme Lord, you are the supreme personified form of all benediction. Therefore, one who abides in your devotional service with no other desire, worshipping your lotus feet, is better than becoming king and lording it over a kingdom. That is the benediction of worshipping your lotus feet. To ignorant devotees like me, you are the causelessly merciful maintainer, just like a cow who takes care of the newly born calf by supplying milk and giving it protection from attack. So Dhruva had now become totally purified, and he's speaking, a 5-year-old speaking this kind of language is amazing. This is all the mercy of the Lord. And so although he no longer desired all the things that he came for and he worked so hard for, to make sure he gets them, he didn't want them anymore. After seeing Lord Krishna, seeing Narayan, he didn't want anything. He was totally purified, and he was taken back by darshans of the Lord. He felt that was more than enough for what he had done. That was his prize was more than enough. He didn't want anything else. But having said that, Dhruva Maharaj received many benedictions from the Lord, including the planet pole star. Then he went back home, where his family, mother and father, were eagerly waiting to receive him. So this is the beautiful pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, who inspires us to do bhakti, because you know, he shows us that what we can achieve. Obviously, we can't achieve, but how we can't do bhakti like he did, because in the Kali Yuga we don't have that kind of strength, and we are not able to stop our breathing and do that. It was possible in those. I think I read somewhere that as long as your bones remained, you remained alive in the Satyug, and then it just follows on, getting less and less potent, your body strength. But now, if you're meditating, you have to be breathing. You have to have your body. You have to have your flesh and everything, your bone. You can't do bhakti without these things. This is why Lord Krishna made it so easy for us. Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, they have come to just chant the holy name, just chant, and that's all we need to do. They made it so easy for us. Even the demigods wish they were on this loka in the Kal Yuga, because even they can't uh, get the mercy of the Lord like we can just by chanting. So they wish they were on this bhumi, where they could just chant the holy name and get all the benedictions from the Lord. So thank you all so much. I just want to welcome you all for joining today. Rukmani Mataji, Trinatai Charan Prabhu, Sureshi Mataji, Ishani Madhi Mataji, Jay Mataji, Partha Prabhu, welcome, Praveen Mataji, and Prem Prakash Gauradas Prabhu. Jai. Thank you all for joining. Please join in. Some realizations or anything you like to add. I'm happy to hear. And who would like to make a start today? Shani Mataji, would you like to say something?
Hi Krishna Prabhuji, Dandut Pranam. Yes, Prabhu, it's a very lovely pastime. I just joined, so I didn't get the details much. But yeah, I've been teaching this to Aradhya as well. Yesterday, he said the same story in his Gurukul. So, uh, we was just getting on to details. So yes, rightly you said that about the Kali Yuga. It's a very good point that even the demigods desire to come in this yuga to attain the love of Godhead and serve Him, as we can do only through chanting. And it has been made very easier and very reachable for us in this yuga. Like everybody can do chanting. There's no special qualification you need to like in Satyug or other yugas, we needed to be doing all the austerities and it was a lot of hard work. But as per the Kali Yuga, it is so designed that we cannot do so much of austerities, and neither do we have the strength. So this is the most appropriate yuga in which we can just chant, and that also I mean, as per I'm saying about myself that I find it that also very hard to concentrate and chant as well. So please bless me, all of you, so that we can spread this movement and ourselves first, do the right thing, do the proper chanting, and get the blessings of Vaishnavas and gurus. Thank you, Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, even chanting is difficult for us, especially attentive chanting. The mind is really not in the other yugas maybe they had more mind flow, but even Arjuna said that mind is like the wind. So if they had problems with the mind in Dwapar Yuga, imagine what it's like. We don't need to imagine. We know what it's like in the Kali Yuga. It's never where you are. The mind is somewhere else. We are here. It's always, although it's our mind, but it's always somewhere else, and it wants to be somewhere else, and it wants to do its own thing. We want to chant, but the mind has its own agenda for the day, what he would like to think about, and what he would like to do. So yeah, it's always separating itself from our intentions. What main thing is our intentions should be good, should be spiritualized, and then the mind has no, it has to follow. We have to bring it. We can bring it back. So it's fine. Right, Jai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Key message from this story is how Dhruva Maharaja was transformed. I mean, initially he was angry about, he's going to lose his kingdom and throne. So he goes through the forest to find God and, demand what was rightfully his. But, he meets Narada Muni who, teaches him how to practice austerity and do breathing exercises and whatnot, put down, do fasting and whatnot, and practice devotional service, like meditating on the form of the Lord and then meditating on his pastimes. But so I mean, he gains a lot of powers, I think, and so I think causes the earth to tremble or something. So the Lord appears from him, and his prayer, he just like last week when he talked about Gajendra, he glorifies him, says a lot of words of wisdom. So but basically at the end, he regrets his anger and and his desire for material wealth and fame. So yeah, I'll leave it out as a answering.
Thank you, Ravi. Yeah. Okay, Partha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Jai Prabhu.
Jai Prabhu. Such a lovely class. And I think like one point of realization for me is like when his second mother said all harsh words to him, he got disappointed, but again he went to his mother and he asked he inquired about this to his mother very nicely, and he trusted in the words of her mother so much that at that age he went to forest to do that penance. So we should have trust. We should have one advisor like spiritual master or one good advisor, and we have to trust on them whatever they say and follow the instructions given very clearly. So that's what he did. Like at the age of 5 years, he went to forest. He took it so seriously, even though not having much understanding of that philosophy, and he practiced it from the bottom of his heart. So he trusted those words so seriously that he took it so serious and he went to forest and started doing that penance. I mean, that is so great. And like you said, Brahma Maya, that is really nice. I think we have to chant in such a way that we can get that Brahma Maya without being touched by the conch shell. So that's how. And for that only, like as you always say, association is a key. Because once you are away from the association, even for 1 week, that's it. Like it is very hard to come back again. So every day, religiously, we have to do our chanting, listen to classes, and talk to devotees every day.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Ravi. Wonderful. Okay. We have Jaya Mataji would like to say something to that?
Even I joined very late. I think I joined after your lesson. Sorry about that. But what I gather is about the mind, I think, what Ishani said. So, yeah, in Kali Yuga, that we are all in Kali Yuga, and that's the best time to connect to God, and in the easiest way. God is waiting for us, but it's our effort. We are being reluctant, or we are actually not taking that step forward. I think this is the right time for all of us. Being in Kali Yuga, we are the most luckiest one, I should say. Yeah, that's what I could gather.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful. Thank you. Right. We also have Sureshi Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
What I think my realization is that association and especially mercy are very important in our life. Without the mercy of spiritual master, Lord Krishna and devotees, we cannot make any progress in our spiritual life.
Yeah.
Because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as merciful, Karuna Avatar, and Prabhupada, we got Maha Mantra and can do devotional service to Krishna. And through the mercy of an association of Mother Suniti and Narad Muni, Maharaj Dhruva became a devotee, and Narad Muni gave him the mantra to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And so Mother Suniti gave Dhruva Maharaj very important instruction, which a spiritual master we learn in Bhagavad-Gita, and that's and that instruction is given to Dhruva Maharaj, but it applies to us.
Absolutely.
Very much.
Yes.
And that instruction that the greatest happiness and liberation is only possible by Supreme Personality of Godhead, not the demigods. The demigods, happiness is only temporary, but Supreme Personality of God is everlasting. And then she said, take shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which will free you from the cycle of birth and death. That's why we are chanting and we're doing devotion service to get out the cycle of birth and death. And Supreme Personality God is very kind. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. Karuna is merciful. He's very kind and free you from all distress. And Maharaja Dhruva actually, he went to the forest for material desires. He wanted a big palace, bigger than his father. But after the darshan of Supreme Personality of Godhead, he didn't want all those appliances. He said, I want only devotional service. So we've got many examples, even in our ISKCON, there's so many scientists and doctors. And when they met the devotees, they left their nice jobs and became Krishna conscious because they knew the importance of Krishna conscious and the devotion service that they free you from birth, death, and the cycle, birth cycle. So Guru Maharaj, he knew his mother was the first spiritual master, and then his second spiritual master was Narad Muni, as which Narad Muni knew that he's interested, so he gave him the instruction how to do how to achieve Krishna. So when our spirituality, anybody sees us doing hard work, they like to help us. And so the Guru Maharaj achieved what he didn't want in his life, but he achieved better than what he wanted. Hare Krishna.
Jai, thank you so much, Mataji. Wonderful. Yes, excellent. Yeah, exactly. We have our own desires, but Krishna, when he sees our sincerity, then he has some other plans. So yeah, we should always leave our plans to the Lord, because we are we are limited in our thinking. Krishna is unlimited, and it's amazing what plans he has for us. And when you allow him or surrender to him to help you, then it's amazing things happen. Absolutely. Prem Prakash Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, it got muted again. Hare Krishna, Vedana Pranam. So the pastime has got amazing realizations, and they are probably each points are very much related with the Dhruva Maharaj. The background is also there, is that the ability to follow the instructions of Gurudev and having Shraddha, trust, as Partha Prabhu said, that is a very genuine and important point. And then what happens is that Guru approaches Krishna and then put Shifarish. Shifarish means put up petition that although this is the person, my disciple is a fool, but he's sincere. So since he is sincere, please accept him. So based on that application, based on that petition, Krishna then gives mercy. Also very important to know in this case, Narad Muni goes to Krishna and then says that Dhruva Maharaj is doing tapasya, so please go and disturb him. Very important point came over here is that Krishna says that until one is initiated, I don't take offenses, and neither I bestow mercy. I probably, this is one of the same in your lecture, Prabhuji, only we were discussing this. And then Krishna says that, yes, he is initiated. I initiated him. And then Krishna goes and then gives mercy to Dhruva Maharaj. So that's very important to please Guru, because Guru is a person who says that I'm going to take all the offenses and sins a person has committed. So that's very strong, committed not in just one lifetime, but multiple lifetimes and whatsoever. Obviously, this is a Leela, but this is important to follow, able to follow Gurudev. And here there are two gurus in this case. One is the mother. Prahlad Maharaj was still able to follow the instructions of his mother, and not just one mother, both the mothers. He goes away to find first. When Suniti said that you go away, then he goes away first, and then Mother Suruchi when says that you go in tapasya, he was able to follow. And then when he meets Narad Muni, then he gets the real benediction and mercy. And then because of Guru Prasad, he was able to do the thing. So obviously there are a few other points, but I think we are getting late at the moment. So we will.
Wonderful point. Thank you so much. That's, I love it because we're looking at it from different angles, and that makes the whole process so wonderful, isn't it? Because we can add more body to the pastimes, from our own points of view and what we gather from from the mother's side, from the devotional service side, from the guru side. There's so many aspects to a pastime, isn't it? And in the reading, you can only cover so much, but then you can add, the aspects of all the stages that are involved. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Rukmini Mataji, anything?
No, Babuji, I have heard everything from everybody.
Thank you.
And I'm very happy to listen this Dhruva Maharaj had to go to the jungle and do worshipping the Lord. The same story is repeating in all the yugas. For Dhruva Maharaj, for Prahlad Maharaj, for Sitaji, for Sitaji got Ravan. So in all yuga there are these all things are happening. We think before it was like Satyuga, but I don't think that was also that pure world. And even in Kali Yuga is a bit more, but these things are happening in all Yuga.
Yeah, and
so we can't help it.
Yeah, I mean, they're happening to teach us a lesson. I mean, Dhruv Maharaj learned a lesson that what it's like when somebody looks down at you, right? So he learned a lesson at very young life that somebody like his stepmother really looked down at him because he was not her son, although he's well qualified to sit on his father's lap, to sit on the throne, but she really looked down at him. So that lesson that he learned from such a young age, he ruled the kingdom for 36,000 years, and he always remembered that lesson that he had learned. So he was equal to everybody in those 36,000 years, whether somebody was a big businessman or somebody sweeping the streets. He was a wonderful king because he treated everybody equally, because he knew what it's like when somebody treats you badly. So he never treated anybody badly in his while he was the king. So yeah, it's lessons for us to learn from these pastimes. Thank you. And Praveen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, like you said, it's a beautiful lesson. Like, and it's very, very dear to me. The story of Dhruva Maharaj. So at such a small age, he could achieve pure love. So we need to try as well. And the main point that came to realization is so importance of the association of pure devotees. So yeah, and mercy of the Lord. So yeah, I have to pray more for these things, so to progress. Thank you, Prabhuji. Well, I've got a question which you can answer at a later stage because I know we're running out of time. Yeah, like Sri Prabhupada ji has given us Mahamantra Hare Krishna. And what's the difference then, like Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? Because that's what I used to chant before. So can we get to the same devotional, we can get the pure love by chanting that, or we have to just stick, or I am doing 16 rounds Mahamantra, but sometimes it comes to my mind, why, what is the difference then? So if somebody can address at a later stage, that will be nice.
I can attempt very quickly.
Mhm.
Yeah, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is a very potent mantra. But for this yuga, for the Kali Yuga, there's mantra for every yuga. For this yuga, our mantra is the Maha Mantra, and which was given to us by Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave us this
Right.
mantra, and that's what he's recommended for this yuga, to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is the mantra recommended for the Kali Yuga. Yeah, and so we follow Lord Chaitanya. Whatever Lord Chaitanya has instructed us, we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. And he said, "Do you do this mantra?" I mean, this mantra was actually originally Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. It was like that. It was that way now.
Yes, yeah, because in India, that's how they used, they say it,
Yeah, it's even written like that. I've seen.
Yeah.
So you quite right. But Lord Chaitanya has told us, you do this mantra in the Kali Yuga, and then you will get everything. You will get purification. You will get love of God. So this is what we do. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We do that when we are starting a class. We offer up obeisances to Lord Vasudev. So for this yuga, so that's the bottom line really. This yuga Maha Mantra is the recommended mantra.
Right. Yeah. No, that's what I couldn't understand. So basically we're following the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is what we go to. Whatever Mahaprabhu did, whatever he recommended, that's what we are following.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
the
No,
line.
because I was thinking, because Kali Yuga we are lazy and everything, and I'm thinking, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. It's a short mantra. So so for the Kali Yuga people, that would be better. So then you think, oh yes, I've done my round so quickly, but it's the time as well. We have to like do chanting for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
But like with my grandson, because I'm thinking Mahamantra is big, so I'm always chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva with him. So so that's where the question was coming. So I said, well, yeah, wait for he's a little bit older, then he can do the Mahamantra.
For the
So
Kali
it's still okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the,
Hare Krishna.
our transcendental vibration is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's the transcendental
Right. Yeah.
vibration
Yeah.
of the Kali.
Thank you so much,
And
Prabhuji.
that
Yeah.
is
Thank
most
you.
important. In this
Yeah.
yuga, this Mahamantra is most potent, and Lord Chaitanya is most potent. This is the
Yeah.
Kali Yuga. So every avatar is
Yes.
potent in their own yugas. So
Yeah.
this is why we're following this.
Thank you so much. Mataji wants to say something, I think.
Mataji?
Yeah,
Sorry, Mataji.
I had it from in the classes before. They said, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva, you calling only Krishna. But in this, you're calling Radha Krishna. So Krishna, Radha is more merciful. And if you tell Krishna anything, Krishna will listen. So that's why it both name here, Radha and Krishna. But in there is only Krishna. Krishna, the fathers are not so merciful as mothers. That's what I learned.
Excellent.
That's very good. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Haribol. Haribol, Prabhat.
Mother, you
Thank you.
want to make a start on the first round? Srishi Mataji?
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti